I think I need more donations. My audio equipment is starting to fall to bits. Test? Oh, yeah, that's going through. OBS is acting weird. Almost duct tape. This is gaffer tape. It's like duct tape, except better in most ways, except more expensive. Why can't I hear anything? Oh, I know why. There we go. Okay, how is volume going? I might turn that down just a smidge. Apparently my volume button doesn't work now. Why is my... Oh. Okay. Then... my volume is really quiet on my headset. That engine sounds terrible at the moment. We might do something about that. How we all doing? I thought I was ready. So I started going live. We're now doing this. What if I just turn this off for now? There we go. I need to wake up at 6 AM tomorrow and I'm not sleeping. If you really do truly struggle with sleep, look up sleep hygiene. It's, it depends on who you are as to how effective it is, but it is effective. The other one is, what do you call it? Melatonin. Had to remember the name there for a second. Think I'll be walking like a zombie tomorrow. Better duct tape. Basically, I think normal shops call this cloth tape. If you just go to something like a hardware store. I think it goes by other names, but in filmmaking, which is where I learnt, it's called gaffer tape. Now, the cloth tape that you'll find in normal stores, like this stuff, not particularly good. But then again, real gaffer's tape is really expensive, so I didn't want to justify that cost. This stuff is good enough, but like real gaffer's tape will stick to sand. It's like, not quite that great, but it is... It's designed to have so much like really high quality glue on it that all you need to be able to do is just have this stick to that thing very quickly, move on, done. Because filmmaking has to move very fast. And be non-permanent, usually. You don't have money to donate? That's fine. Haven't heard of that in a long time. Yeah, it's been a few years since anybody's had that. Oh, you're streaming again? I need to watch it? Sure. I mean, it'll be a VOD. My dad took that tape home from work. Okay. We love the shenanigans. I try the shenanigans. I think it might be about time to retire this cable and the microphone. I wonder if it's the microphone or the cable. Maybe I'll buy a high quality cable, then I'll look at replacing the microphone, because the microphone's not cheap to replace. So how's everybody doing? Welcome, Cascade? Is that how that's meant to be pronounced? Lonano? Honano. Pisa Essa, Mr. Sir, Moto Manic, DZG, Pizza Essa, Moto Maniac. Everybody, basically. How you all doing? I got on such, like, holiday mode after I released that video. I was like, the stress of, like, getting at least something out finally done. My brain just went, boom, into holiday mode. Christmas happened. My brain just immediately turned to mush. It's like, oh, relax? I go, blah, blah, blah. This morning, I was like, alright, what am I going to stream? Oh, wait, I was doing something, wasn't I? I even forgotten that I was working on the R4 360 engine, which we'll just... There we go. Bring that up. My internship was the opposite of that. Good. You ever do a T-Series headlight expansion with other types? Not sure I know what you mean. Just got an ad when I said your name, sorry about that. But without donations, the only people I can take money from are advertisers. Which, I've been thinking I might reach out to Muye or Carmody and ask them if they could put me in touch with the War Thunder guys. Because I reckon if they pay enough, I'll just turn off ads. Just run off of that, because YouTube's ad revenue is pretty middling. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but you are streaming, so sleep deprivation time. Sorry. I mean, it is like I stream on Australia's Sunday, which is America's Saturday, so do you have stuff to do on Sunday mornings? YouTube plays really good? Sure. The turbocharger in Muye's vid still haunts me to my dreams. Yeah, that's that was a series of, I think, 4 streams. Just fiddling around, learning new things like how to use HTML to modify images. As long as it repairs to an engine, and I turned it over, and I put it in gear. Hey, Simulator Adventures, welcome, buddy. The yearly January Adpocalypse is coming. Oh, really? I don't think I ever noticed, to be honest. But, welcome, bro. How you doing? I was doing some repairs when I turned it over, got it in gear, and it just exploded. I have 0. I added a 0 to the torque, and yeah. Are you talking about an engine in Beam & G? Because that's a lot cheaper than doing that in real life. In January, my ad revenue goes down 50%. My ad revenue is never particularly great in the first place, but I also, there's like the... I'll bring it up. You know, I'll just show you guys. Because I don't know how to describe it, and... But there is... No. Give me a second. Let me find it. Don't want to dox anything. Here we go. So, wait, hold on. Let me turn off night mode for a second. Oh! It inverted. So this used to be enable interest-based ads, and now they've changed it to disable interest-based ads. So that's going to hurt my ad revenue, but screw trackers. Obviously, if anybody doesn't know, Simulator Adventures is the person who absolutely decimated my feelings. No, they do mod review stuff, and they're the ones that basically made that short about the Pat. T-Series for real needs an old cabin hood style like the 1940s. Sure. You probably... I don't know if you'd do that to the T-Series. You'd probably scale up the 9 and do some reinforcement stuff. Am I doing YouTube full-time? For years, yeah. And it does not pay well. Maybe it does for people like Simulator Adventures who releases on a decent schedule. I've put myself in a bad position where I can't really rely on quantity. People were confused as to why I put the Postman Pat music at the in that short. Natural song choice? Alright. I don't think I remember that song being in that. Also, did you not get copyright struck for that? Damn. Oh, you know what? No, it's a short. Isn't that assumed to be revenue shared or whatever? Something like that? A no BeamNG short channel that's making thousands, and he's like 15. Yeah, but those shorts things are not my cup of tea for, like, it would not tick my, fulfill my creative needs. I know, I'm that dumb that I have creative needs, and it surpasses money for some stupid ass reason. Shorts don't get copyright under 60 seconds, okay. Hardworking people who should get more money from ads and videos. Yeah, but that's incredibly hard to, what's it called? Incredibly hard to, gauge is probably the right one. But then also, there's just charismatic people. And they're just going to be more attractive to a wider audience. So, what does YouTube want to discourage those sorts of people? I get it, but I feel that they take too much of the pie. Nope, I get the full money on 99% of my shorts, even with copyrighted music. Okay. Do you get much from shorts? I know the Hank thing exists. It would still be a Class 8 truck, just from a previous. I have no idea. Some of the shorts are good, like the ones from Simulator Adventures, and some are less good. Sure. Oh, there was... Like, I've seen a lot of hate on YouTube. Sometimes I'll cop some, like, real banger hate comments, but Simulator Adventures copped one in my comments. Oh, and it was a doozy. I had to share it with him. Would I consider running a marathon? I've always been more of a walker than a runner, because I used to walk everywhere as a kid. I even got into speed walking there for a little bit. But running, even at my absolute fittest, I would struggle to run a kilometer. Like, really young, running was just never in it for me. Same with bicycles. Once I got a little bit older and my mum would let me actually go all the way into town, which is about... You know, I'm going to do a quick estimation on that. Where's my phone? Oh, right there. Directions to about 5 to 6 kilometers to go all the way into the... I mean, we weren't really in the town. We were right on, like, the outskirts, semi-rural area. And they allowed me to bike in there with a friend and whatnot. Biking was really hard for me. Other people seem to do it quite well and quite easily. I am not good at cycling. I get the feeling that maybe I just have like a normal sized torso and short arms and legs or something, because it was a problem when I used to do boxing and whatnot as well. People in, well, one, I was much bulkier than everybody else, so I was always in like a different weight category. Like a higher weight class than what I really should have been in, which is why I feel that they should do away with weight classes and honestly go by skill, or like a experience class and height. but also maybe take into consideration your arm's reach. Because I would always have to go in. I very rarely got hit though, because I was exceptionally fast and would very often, because I was so much more powerful than these people, they had longer arms, but I had hella muscle. I would very quickly get the people off kilter and then KO them within like less than a minute usually. I didn't do a lot of boxing though. I very quickly moved on to do different things. But boxing was just one of them. You're gonna almost run 5 kilometers in 30 minutes? Okay. 1 kilometer is 0.6 of a mile? Something like that. I know it's 1.6 kilometers to a mile. Hey Filman, I am once again using your stream as to fall asleep material. Let's hope it goes better than last time I tried this. Engine audio stream? Oh, was it disrupting or something? 2 sides to BeamNG, the good, mod reviews and explanation videos, and the other side for the clicks. Surviving crashes and how far can I jump this car type of videos. Yeah, I don't mind the like how far can these video cars jump sort of thing, because I made a lot of those, a lot of mods, and they would end up in a bunch of those videos. Any other people's video mods being jumped or whatever did nothing for me, but my own cars, yeah, I tuned in for that. Even our what's his name again? Drawing a blank. I tried to talk to him the other day, even again. Damn it, what? Yeah. Not Komodo. Komodo doesn't really do mod reviews, so I didn't reach out to him. Neological, that's her. Neological sometimes does mod reviews still, so I thought I'd reach out to him, but even though we get along, he's not a, what I would call a good communicator. I swear, if I see another building a Soviet car and automation video, oh my god, I know, right? He became a meme in the community because of the jumping stuff. Don't know if others know the story. I don't know. What happened? I hate these stage videos where they drift through the house. Oh yeah, those sorts of things. You cycled 12 kilometers to school and 12 back. Damn. I always walked. I think it was about 1 kilometer to school when I was a kid, but it was hilly, and then on the way home it was always a very steep hill. Then I think it was 2.5 kilometers when I was a little bit older to go to a adult education because I had to drop out of school because I never had the grades. They finally just went, okay, you're technically an adult now and you no longer are required to go to school. You've not passed a year of school since 5th grade or year 5. We don't use grades here in Australia. We call them years. So year 5. And my mum made an agreement like, he's got learning disabilities. Just push him through. It's not going to change anything. Which is kind of sucky, but also makes sense because there was no understanding of people with learning disabilities like autism and ADHD. People had it. They were just considered lazy and dumb. I went to university. So fuck them. But yeah, no consideration. There was a video description which accidentally had a naughty link in it. Oh dear. Now, hold on. You say smart fella. Let me be clear. It was a creative arts degree. It's not great. But when I was there, I actually learned how to learn, which is something that I never got from school. What's your thoughts on the new Holden Monaro HQ mod? I'm guessing it's another mesh lap, like generally all IRL cars are. Sorry, a little bit burpy this morning. Mod Beam and G. Yep, okay, it's also on... Oh. Just because I use a VPN and an ad blocker... If I could have no tracking, and they didn't do... What are they called? They're dark pattern advertising, where they, like, make the whole browser page an invisible link that you click on and it opens up another thing. If they didn't do things like that and have... Like, I don't mind auto-play video stuff at all, either. It's just as long as they didn't have, that stuff. As long as they didn't have... Sorry, my brain is complete mush. And ADHD is starting to finally seep back in, after a year of medication. Auto audio. If they were autoplay, that's fine. A little bit of distraction that I could deal with. But the audio is like just a step too far for me. Oh, that's actually pretty decent looking crash model. It's not a mesh lap? Good. But that 12 kilometers is relatively easy because I am Dutch. There's also just genetics involved with this sort of stuff. So it's not exactly just a country thing. That's pretty good. A little bit of clipping of the bumper, but your only other option is to have a three-dimensionally thick collision on the bumper, which is more processing. I suppose actually they could just get away with... No, it would have to just be three-dimensional, otherwise it would clip in someplace or another. Or another. Me do English, I swear. What I would love to see is like a good Australian map. The livery is not perfect. It's still pretty decent. I see that they've got a pretty good looking number plate. Though, I think it's maybe a little too much into the numbers. Sorry, characters on the number plate? Alright, collision mesh. The collision mesh is... not... perfect. Then again, let me be clear, mine aren't either. I tend to pump out stuff, so I don't mind too much. It just looks like there's a few oddities going on. For one, there's no collisions on the fenders, and those are probably the things that should more likely have collisions, unless you're trying to keep to a weight class. The other one is this body line of nodes here should have probably been on this line here. It doesn't look like there's a line of nodes along here. It's really hard to tell, but that would just give a cleaner crash. Yeah, we don't have crash happening here. Yeah, it kind of goes, yeah, it's hard to tell. And then things, yeah, just aren't lining up. Not that bad. I would say that this is a fairly high quality mod. Once again, door also doesn't line up with... Oh no, it lines up with this. Okay, I know why they would have done this as well. But I probably would have just had this go. Or just bring this body line down. I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, you know what? I think they wanted to fill this in. Okay, I see why they did that. So this is a repurposed collision mesh, which most of mine are. Have they model this themselves, because I'm seeing something weird happening here. It's really hard to tell. I feel that's too big. That's probably poking through the windshield. By the way, I'm just being, like, very, very critical. It looks fairly decent. I know that rear diffuser. I've grabbed that one as well and put it on. What did I put it on? I don't remember what I put it on, but I put it on something. What are we doing today? We're finishing off, hopefully, this, so then it can go live. I will change all the names up, because there's no badging on it, and we'll put it on the repo. Or should I put it on the forums? What do you guys think? On the repo, I'd get a hell of a lot more eyes, but I'd have to change the name, so people, if they're trying to search for the whatever R4 360, they won't be able to find it. But if it's on the forums, we could just have the name of the thing. So it's easier if somebody is specifically trying to search for it. Only Aussie maps you know of is paid? Alright. I know of Mount Cootha, which is fairly decent. But it's, just a ring road in the hills. Not great. That configuration looks very good, holy moly. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Yeah, but the Netherlands, you're a bit more focused on cycling than, let's say, America, so you are more trained for a bicycle. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I started very young, and I've always found cycling very exhausting. Even though I was doing, like, probably, like, during holidays, definitely a kilometer or two a day, and then maybe once a week, the full, like, 5.5 kilometers into my local town, and then whatever cycling around there we do, maybe meet up with some other people, because I lived about a kilometer away from a friend, so we would cycle in. And then back, which was almost entirely uphill. So it'd be a slope for most of it, and then poof, like a, I would say like a 30-degree to 40-degree slope. Like, it was very, very sharp uphill for parts of that. I remember I played a game with a friend once. We were talking about how steep it was. You know what? No, it's probably not that high. Oh, no. Yeah, about 30 to 40 degrees. We went out and we were just listening to the cars as they were coming up, because we were getting into cars at the time as well. And we were betting by the engine note whether the person was prepared or not for the hill, and if they would have to shift down gears beforehand, or if they would speed up prematurely. They shouldn't have, but if they would do that and get the speed up for the hill, which it was about maybe probably 700 meter hill, the section which I was on, directly straight up, no zigzagging or anything. And yeah, I think we could really tell who the locals were. Let's put it that way. Find it interesting that Holden mod creator is Czech. I mean, there's been Holdens put into Australia, but like J-Beam is genuinely so good to make race cars with like tubular chassis monocoque. Yeah, yeah. Except it's designed for... Oh, something happened. It's designed for mid-engine, which means that the nodes are heavier in the back to allow for a stiffer connection to the engine. So it's not just a, hey, this is better. It's a decent starting off point with a detachable front and back, sure. But there's trade-offs, there's work that has to be done. Ask me why I know. And I won't tell you. I'll just say watch the following video or videos on the Elfin, which Simulator Adventure has tried in its current form. I haven't done anything on the car for about 3 weeks at the moment, because it's been mostly about video editing, and then I turned to Jelly after I released part 1. At 130 kilometers an hour in your 2013 Renault Master. What is that? Oh. A Renault Master. Oh. A van. I do that speed in a van. And sometimes I cycle like 40 kilometers an hour for fun from my house. Oh my god, 40 kilometers? On a bike? I would die. Alright, there's too much chat. I'm gonna have to jump a bunch. Still very balanced. Yeah, agreed. But strangely enough, putting an engine in the front did not hurt it too much. Yeah, but then it comes down to if you need to fiddle with weights. Especially if you're going extremely light like what I did. Wait. What I'm going to do in the next following videos. It becomes a problem. I found a site with your tires mod, but I'm not sure to trust it. Where do you post mods for that? The links are in the description of the video. It is on Overtake GG and Modland. I personally would suggest Overtake GG. Oh, no, we can go by member. Oh. There's other reasons I would suggest Overtake GG, but I don't know if those reasons are public at the moment, so I'm not gonna go into that. They did do a fun little article on my tires mod as well. Let's go, now... Wait, hold on, actually. No, I got... Philman 86... Yeah. So... I knew that this article was going to be written, and they said that the only problem is to write it, they're contractually obligated, I believe, to only review things that are on their website. So I had to make well, actually, it turns out I had an account from a really long time ago, but I had to reactivate my account, and then I started uploading the free version of the tires mod to here. The paid version, currently that's on Patreon, just has more tweaking and allows you to do front and rear separately. But this version is very simple. If you watch the tuning video, it will explain how to set it all up. But I tried to make it very simplified because I knew that if I made it too complicated, I'd get 1,000, like, how do I use this? But it is still very functional. 20 miles today on my new bike. You guys are insane. I think I might have found the Modland download and wasn't sure if it trusted or not. Yeah, Modland has a... like, make sure it's my account. I don't know whether... Like, Modland does tend to review people's stuff. But, still be concerned. I don't know. I don't... There's a lot of stigma around Modland, and a lot of it is because they just steal people's mods, and Modland doesn't really feel like it cares. What is the fastest I've gone IRL? When I took my... What is it? My... Toyota 86 to... the Bend... I need Google Maps for this because I don't know if Apple Maps does it. The Bend Motorsport Park. So bright. Why is Night Reader not working here? Oh, it doesn't work no more. Oh, you're struggling. Oh, you are really struggling. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Directions. Measure distance. Damn it. Fine. Alright, let's do this again. Measure distance. To here. Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to double check. It is a kilometer long straight. In the 86, I got up to 100 and I think 86. But that's not the fastest I've ever gone. I had, a long time ago... I don't remember if it was a GL or GLE. I had basically this. It was my family's old family car. No, that's not right. It had the quote-unquote flat hood. Okay. This... No. This has steelies. Okay, good. It's got the flat hood. It's got the right headlights and everything. I feel the grille is a little bit different. But basically this in... that silver from here. So we'll just leave this on. Except not those wheels. We just find a closer... I don't know, I just want nostalgia at the moment. No... You know what? No, that's... whatever. Anyway, this. And in the early 2000s, I think? I managed to get this one up just over 190 kilometers an hour. In a similar amount of distance. I'm not going to do this on stream, but I'm going to measure the distance in which it took. I do not remember this path. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna obscure. You know, it's probably that, actually. Yeah, that is it. Oh, the nostalgia. Oh my god, this is so janky and slow. So it's probably from about here. To about here. Okay. In about 1.5 kilometers. I got up to that speed. So, 86 probably would have gone faster, given the straightaway. But I just like the fact that a 1983 Volvo was punching so far above its weight. Because despite the Volvo being so old, it has a thing that the Toyota 86 doesn't have. And let me be clear. The 86 has much better aerodynamics, but I do have the duck spoiler on it, so that's not great. But the Volvo has power and torque. Its 0 to 100 was 12 seconds, but somehow felt phenomenally faster than the Toyota 86, which had a 0 to 100 of, like, I think 7.5 seconds? Which is no sneeze. No slouch. I meant to say either nothing to sneeze at or no slouch, and for some reason my brain went, yeah, no sneeze, that makes sense. I've generally been a 4-cylinder person for the majority of my life. You know the band? It seems like a death sentence? Go check out my IRL channel. I'm probably going to change the name of my IRL channel to be in line with my new nomenclature. Anytime now, buddy. Here we go. So Linux Man and Rant Man, which I've not actually put anything on Rant Man. Rant Man was going to be like me taking rants I do on streams and then put them there. But I'm too lazy. What I want to do is get somebody to do it for me. They can have the ad revenue until, or if it starts making a buttload of money, then we'll do a revenue share. Linux Man is the one that I started putting stuff on recently because I've got like a whole bunch of server stuff that I am setting up. And I want to do some more interesting things. But, IRL... What is it? Phil IRL? Phil986 IRL. IRL. Oh god, I was... Still am fat, but I was even fatter. Yeah, I went out to, the Bend in this. Oh yeah, that's right. The whole premise was, as I was annoyed, how all of the reviewers of the 86 when it first came out were all quite positive. But then, when I got it, I was like, this thing is garbage on the road. Like, what the hell? So I went and had a look at the reviews, and almost every single one of them was on a track and not on the road. So then when the GR86 came out, and then the engine started blowing up on track, they went, oh, I'm sorry, you're out of the normal use case of our car. They advertised it being like a track day car, and even when selling it, they would allow you to sign up to do, what is it? Like a... organized track day events for the GR86. Toyota is not a good company, and haven't been for a few years. They started going downhill with the 86, basically. They went, let's create an engine which people are going to drive really, really, really hard. It has to fit numbers, and then have Subaru make it. What the hell? Subaru is not one of the companies known for making good engines. You know who is? Toyota! I feel that they were hoping that they would have the same head gasket issue that the old ones did, but it's not turboed, so... Oh yeah, then we move on to turboing. If you live in North America, having this really shitty engine may be fine. It's probably expected that you'll charge it in some way, whether it be supercharge or turbocharge. But in the rest of the world, a lot of places, it is heavily regulated and very expensive to turbocharge a car. I asked a local place and it was $10,000, and they would deal with making it... I don't even think they do it entirely legitly, to be honest. Making it street legal. I'm going to use air quotes on that because I feel that they don't. But they do enough to make sure that it doesn't get... what is it called? Canaried, I think we call it here in Australia. Because if you get told that your car is illegal, they will give you a defect sticker and attach it to the car that you're not allowed to remove. Only the police are, once it's been reapproved to be compliant. And people just started calling it canary because it was like a canary yellow sticker. And generally the people that were modifying cars were just, you know, more interesting. So creating a nickname for getting defected, that's what it is. Yeah, they just... I always found it fun to call it, you got a canary. Volvo, so you're safe, of course. You're safe in relative terms. But, these cars are not brilliant. There is a video that I might suggest you watch. Not because you need to know about safety. It's just, it was actually rather interesting, and I won't show the video because I don't want to get copyright struck. Fifth gear Volvo crash test. Yeah, this one. Which does like a small micro vehicle versus a Volvo 940. Now, that is a poor matchup for the Volvo, because it has to have such a solid and immediate crumple zone. It wouldn't be great if it was crashing against a wall. The Volvo would fare a little bit better, but when you fare the Volvo against a very solid, short crumple zone car, the smaller car doesn't have the crumple zone. It utilizes the Volvo's crumple zone, meaning the Volvo's crumple zone has to do, like, I'm going to say 1.5 times the amount of crumpling. So it's not entirely fair, but it is a good example of how safety has evolved. Though I feel that this is 17 years ago, yeah, so you get the idea. Safety has come a lot further. So when you say that, oh, you'd be safe in a Volvo 240 in a crash, not really. Especially at 190 kilometers an hour. Old Volvos were fast for the time? Hell yes they were. I think it was, the Volvo that we had. I think it was like 135 horsepower. I remember it having 114 kilowatts to horsepower. 152 horsepower in this. From a 4-cylinder in the early 80s. Fords were struggling to get that with a 5-liter V8. Why is it an L plate? Oh, for my Linux server channel. Threefold. The L on my face is for learner, for Linux, and loser. At first I wanted to do this, but I could just never make the picture look good. Because it's going to be like Linux. I will do talking about Linux on there at some point. I just need to do server stuff first. I just recently upgraded to 2.5 gigabit networking in my last video, so I've got that now. You're from Poland? You love my videos? Ah, I have some ancestry from Poland. I believe my grandma's family is from Poland. I think she was first generation Canadian. Or was she? No, I'm pretty sure she was Canadian. Weird YouTube search history. It would also be very short, because this is a LibreWolf, so it'll constantly keep wiping things. I think LibreWolf's meant to be, if you use it the way they intended, I think the most privacy-focused browser. I keep wanting to switch to it, but it is a hassle. So I split the difference and I go with Brave browser usually. The turbos were especially fast. How much were they? Of like, how much power? Were they 145 horsepower? Wait, hold on, am I getting fuzzled? Yeah, no, maybe. Volvo 240 turbo specs. You know, let's have a look here. I bet your Wikipedia is going to give me a better thing. That's right. There's also American versions and Swedish versions and the rest of the world versions. This is not correct. That's the naturally aspirated numbers. Wait. Oh, I was thinking of Ultimate Car page. Okay. Nope. No, I wasn't. You know, let's have a look at the specifications. What was their thing? Lionel. 307 horsepower. At 6,000 RPM. I wonder what their red line was on that. Anyway, 200 series. Let's go kilowatt. Okay, so the 1.9 liter was 66 kilowatts. 21A, so the 2.1 liter was 78. Carbureted 2.3 liter was 82. Twin carbed. Huh. Because I was never really into carburetors, I didn't know that they had like a twin carburetor version. Anyway, let's keep going with kilowatts. 71. Oh, my legs. That's the 2 liter for the carbureted. For the fuel injected version, I got 90, which sounds about right. Don't care about those. North America inline fours, okay. First turbocharged engine. Made 94 kilowatts. Really? So, oh, Wait. Oh, is that carbureted? That would make sense. So the KDE, which is like mechanical fuel... Oh, it says mechanical fuel injection there. Which is what I had. Lambda sound? Oh, lambda sound. Okay, so that's just basically to check fuel ratios. 95 kilowatts. Oh, so that's still from the 2.1 liters. Okay. With some modification to the fuel system. Oh, horsepower was... Oh, I thought they were going to talk about modifying cars back in the day. That was increased to 98 kilowatts. Sure. Supercharged engine did not have an intercooler until 1983. The optional extra intercooler boost. Intercooler boost system. IBS. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the IBS became standard equipment. If you don't know what IBS is, it's like irritable bowel syndrome? I believe it's syndrome, but yeah. That's like diarrhea and stuff. That's an unfortunate name. Oh, anyway. The IBS became standard in 1984. Despite the introduction of the new B23 engine, the 21 was never enlarged to 2.3 liters. Similar block, though. Because they were all called the red block. The B23E is what I had growing up. 29 was dropped. The F was 0F was less powerful. There was a B23F, not an OF. Oh, interesting. 85 kilowatts, 6-cylinder PRV. Oh yeah, you didn't want that. Oh yeah, that's right. They had a diesel version. 1980, the 240G were dropped from most markets, as well as the 265 in UK and Australia, and the 265G was available until 1985. Now there's the new GLT model, which replaced the GT and GLE. Had the GT's 140 or 103 kilowatt fuel injected that with manual transmission. I feel that's not entirely accurate because the earlier GT had a slightly different engine with basically it was just a camshaft difference. You know what? I might be confusing things. You know what? I think 114 kilowatts was the 4-valve. Or 16-valve, I should say. Have I gone around to... Oh, I've gone around to the beginning. Red block... Oh, no. Red block. Can we click on red block? We can click on red block. B23E. How much did this have? Not ET. Wait, there was a turbo version? Offered for 2 years, 1983, 1984. The 700 series. Okay, both of that and that was somewhat unusual in the 7 series. Yeah, my friend had a turboed version. They crashed it, sold it to me. I've got the engine somewhere. I've got a collection of engines. Oh, wait, what? Why are they not... I thought this... This page is different from what I remember. High compression, no catalytic, mechanical fuel injection, cage electronic. Yeah. Why are they not They used to show the power numbers. B23E. 104. Okay. That's what it was. B234. They're not going to tell me how much power it made? Thanks. That's good. You should be making a torque graph for your radial engine? Yeah, I should, but nostalgia. And my brain is just dead at the moment. That's more like it. I don't know what that is in kilowatts, but... yeah, about... okay, so it was called 114, and I remember in a booklet. So, about that sort of range. Yeah. I also have, in my shed at the moment, the most powerful red block that was ever made. Wasn't a car engine. It was the AQ17? Yeah, AQ171. I bought this a long time ago when I had a job. Did I? Yeah, no, I had multiple jobs at the time. I was, it was just after the 2008 financial crisis. But yeah, I believe this is like a publicly sold engine. The race engines, yes, made more power, but this had, I think, like 170 horsepower, naturally aspirated, 2.5 liter, beast of an engine. Never actually used it though, because it's just sat there. And my ADHD brain starts like 50 different projects, kind of like what I'm meant to be doing today, and instead, as you've seen, getting sidetracked. Has a collection of Opel i6 engines. You are making a Volvo? No, I was just getting sidetracked. I might do some Volvo stuff one day. Gotta go now. Hope you all have a lovely stream. Thank you for being here, Peaky Z. Just joined as a Swede at almost 2. Yeah, I'm sorry to all my Finnish viewers. I'm pretty sure that that made you very unhappy for me to go on a love rant about Volvos, because I just grew up with them. First thing I see the Australian do is Volvo. The fuck? Yeah. I grew up with Volvos. It was our car. I loved the fact that it was always the underdog. All the way into the 90s even. They had the transmission from a lower powered vehicle, so it was like shorter gear ratioed, except for the overdrive obviously, but with more power. And if you put any more power in it, these transmissions would detonate. They were notoriously not particularly strong engines under, well, like if you tuned the engine. I remember one particular person made a supercharged version of it in Melbourne. I went over, we hung out for a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, can you rip it for me? He's like, no, it will destroy the transmission. It was like a tiny little poxy Toyota supercharger. And he was saying like, it doesn't really generate much more power. And then when he was taking us out, he's like, it's gonna be bad. Like, I don't want to destroy a transmission. But, so that meant it had short gear ratios and more power than most cars in the 80s, which there was still a lot of on the road. And a lot of the more modern cars were lethargic, we'll say, in the 90s. So we were beating almost every car off the line. It wasn't until, and I kid you not, the advent of the turbocharged Subaru Imprezas, where we finally actually started to get beat by other cars. There were no Evos on the road. People just didn't have them in South Australia. Holden's was still being made here, so yeah. Holden's and Commodores, we would beat them through first gear any day of the week. Never went up against the HSV, but I doubt it would be much different, because they're still very heavy. Same gear ratios. Yeah. And still a limited amount of traction. He was in the board of club for V8 and V6 and i6 Opels. Okay. We're going to now open with VS Codium. Now, if you notice that my BeamNG has not been flickering and glitching out today, it's because finally, now that the Alpha is out, I'm using the native Linux version of BeamNG. It is so much more stable and performs so much better. Hopefully they haven't undone my AI preferences. What are we doing? Yosemite common. What's under common? Oh. Most things. Now, I want to look at the Engine Beam, and we want to look at making a torque graph. Now, before I do the torque graph, what I want to do is look at the supercharger. Oh, wait, no, that's under cylinders. Intake. Supercharger intake. Okay. We want to get these right as much as we can. Then, down the baseline engine's naturally aspirated power numbers until we match the power numbers we expect. So, for 3... Alright, let's bring up bookmarks. Wait, do we have a bookmark? We do not. Let's bring up the bookmarks for now. Okay, here we go. That. I could have sworn I had more of these. Huh. Alright. For 360. Save. There we go. Boost. PSI. Pound. No. Ratio. Reduce your gear ratios. Okay, so the nose section mounted forward to the magneto section. Hold on, let's have a look. So magneto section is on this side. So that's on the drive side, not the supercharger side. Housing were planetary reduction gears and has provisions for full feathering, reversible propeller, governor. I might put... How many range selectors can I put in a... Yeah, you know what? I think I can do that. I'm going to put in a range selector. I think it has to be after the gearbox. But we'll pretend as if it's before the gearbox. Let's just quickly plop that in now, because that shouldn't be too hard to do. Let's have a look at vehicles. Is it under common? US semi. No, this is only material stuff. I want the transmission. Yes, transmission. US semi-transmission. I want range. Oh, okay. I was like, why do they have a reference to radial in here? Then I realized that they're talking about the radial menu because it's a quick access icon. Device, range box, splitter control. Okay. Dual shift transmission. Okay, that's different. Oh, it's in the powertrain. And then there's just range box. What is this? US Semi transmission 5A, 5-speed automatic transmission. It has range box here. All right, let's have a look at a stock one of these. Let's start with a manual and bring up the powertrain stuff. So we have clutch, gearbox, range box. Okay. Takes in from the gearbox. Okay. I'm assuming that's how it happens on the others. That is a weird way of doing a range box as well. I'm very confused by that. Anyway, powertrain takes in from the gearbox, gearbox takes in from the clutch, clutch takes in from the engine. I do not believe that an engine can take anything other than a gear. Actually, we have made our own controller. I wonder if we also make our own gearbox controller. I wonder if I put a range box into our engine's powertrain, so it doesn't have to be a part even that you add on. That's interesting. I think I might be able to do that. I'll stick that here. We'll change the name of main engine. We'll call this main engine because it's just easier, so then I don't have to rename the names of things. Rad engine. Rad engine goes to there. Wait, what? Why does it have output 1? Wait, how many transmissions are in here? Oh, there's only 2 transmissions. Whoops. Torque converter, torque converter, torque converter. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was also going to check out an automatic one. So, oh, it doesn't. So even though it has technically the range box in it, torque converter, gearbox, range box is just a shaft. But it does have gear ratios on it. Why can't you change? Oh, wait, no, here's the range box. The range box is shaft. Now I know why they've done this. They've called it range box. So then it connects up properly. Because the drive shaft is probably somewhere else, and the drive shaft expects a range box to be in it. So they've just created a shaft called a range box. I'm going to add a note here. Called... Nope, that's wrong. Main engine. So the clutch will attach. Okay. Did I save that? I did. Okay. What happens? Okay. Broken output. What do we get? Powertrain, combustion engine, radial lure. 1701. Alright, well, let's go back and do some lure work. Is it thermals or just the radials? Okay. 1701. RPM to AV. I wish there was word wrap in here. Why is there not word wrap? Tooltip on long text. Oh! Hey, look at that. Input index 0. Init, lower vehicle, powertrain lower. 496. Let's now have a look at lure. If we have to do a major rewrite, we're not going to pursue this, but we'll just see if it is not too bad. 496. 49. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Powertrain. 496. Okay, local device. Device. Factories. JBeam data type. New JBeam data. If device factories. JBeam data type. Load our actual device via the device factory. Alright. 496 local device. JBeam data, new JBeam. Why did that fail? Count number. 32 table. Oh, we don't care about that. And input index 0 again. Is it unhappy with the input index? I doubt that's the problem. You are very touchy today. Is my microphone like really, really super loud when that crackles? For me, it's not so bad. Hi, Philman. What do you think is the best plugin app to create modifier parts J-beams? Because I've struggled a bit with the official Blender plugin. Oh, so it is? Hold on, give me a second. Okay. That should be good. Sorry about that. You know, I had somebody in the stream... in the comments of my video calling me greedy. Bro, I am so incredibly broke. How poor you are is about how poor I am, except my poorness is not because Mummy won't give me more money. It's because I'm just poor. Kind of. I do own my own house, but a lot of this is from Mummy, and also from a long time ago, when I used to have a job, but South Australia is dead. So, they brought up a good point, this person here. Visual Studio, or I'm using VS Codium, basically the same thing. The official plugin, JBM plugin, has a few cool features in it. I think if we go, like, if I click on this, there we go. I can then change the positions of nodes. And if I go here and undo that, if I select multiple lines, I can move multiple nodes. So, not perfect. It can be really clunky, it can be really slow, but if you're having problems with Blender, it is here. I like it. but I would still prefer to use Blender. I think it's just because it feels more fluid, I have all my hotkeys, and I can do a hell of a lot more. Threatening the mic with some scissors proved effective. I had some cardboard. I just jammed it in there, so I stuck it in there. What are we doing? We're looking at powertrains. So we're then looking at... That's this. This blue and white is very similar to this blue and white, and my brain just goes over, like, easy to spot things. ADHD. I have to work within my bounds. So, I think it tries to do this, then what it does is pass this? What are we in? Get torque data. Wait. That's not right. Wait, we were over here. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. 1701. This is under new. Okay, so new, I believe, is creating a new J-beam. So, it's having a problem. Idle RPM. '17 or 1701? 1701. Weird. So it's having a problem here, but not having a... Oh, okay. So here it's nothing. It's like, sure, okay, you've assigned nothing to this thing. Good on you. Well done. But then when you try to do math to it, goes, hold on, you're trying to do math to nothing. That doesn't work. Not to zero. That is something. Zero is something. It's trying to do it to actually nothing. Also, I'm not sure why they didn't do this. Just saying. So, idle RPM is coming back as nothing. I wonder if I'm calling it main engine, and that's the problem. Int gears. Okay. So we have int gears. I would have to create my own transmission then. Did that make correct? Oh. What are we doing this for? Throt. Temporary fuel table for device fuel throttle usage. Okay. That's right, we were using fuel last time. So let's just clean this up. Okay. Any issues? No. Adding dummy shaft. End gears on output 1. Okay, let's go back and undo this. So, oh, let's see what happens now if I change that around. Yeah, it. Why doesn't it want to attach to the engine? Like, it should be attaching like the air compressor does. I'm wondering... This is a mess. I wish they had a better way of organizing the powertrain layout, or at least give me the ability to click and drag. Or zoom in? If I expand this out, can I see clearer? No, it just makes everything... Oh no, I could see a little bit of the gap in between them now, on most of them. Yeah, it doesn't want to attach to the engine. Wait. I wonder if I can make a clutch that's a range box. You know what? Yeah. No. I just realized that's a problem. Let's change the name of this. That's probably causing a problem. Internal gears. Does that clean anything up? It does not. Okay. Range box, rad engine, int gears. UI simple mode control? Splitter. No, we're not using the splitter. Hold on. I'm thinking of starting modding BeamNG. I have experience in coding Lua. From 0 to 10, how hard would it be to make a simple part mod? Well, if you're experienced with coding, JBeam is just table aggregation. Technically. I still call it coding, because you're encoding stuff and the game gives you different results when you change things. But, I mean, there's no arithmetic to be done. Watch my JBeam basics tutorial. What's actually better about VS Code than Notepad++? Better user experience. It looks neater and tidier. It's got a heck of a lot more functionality. I like this sort of layout with the tabs just feel bigger and easier to touch things. The title bars, which weren't a thing when I was using Notepad++, but it may have updated, who knows. But really, I know that Notepad++ has an unofficial JBeam plugin. This one has an official JBeam plugin, which, as I was showing earlier, has the ability to... Okay, why are you doing that? There we go. Has the ability to modify node positions in the thing. I don't know if the Notepad++ ever had that functionality. When is this mod coming out again? I don't know. I've just been plodding away on it, having fun, shooting the shit. Welcome, Plus1986. How's it going? Dude, man, bro. Yeah? Those could all be adjectives for me. Watching all the way from the Middle East? Welcome. Wasp Major tomorrow? Who knows? Probably not, though. You know what? I'm going to leave it to a quick little poll. Repository or forum? Alright, so the things are repo, easier to find. Forum, easier for people to search. Ooh, 1 character free. Second, just setting up a quick little poll. So I'll do a little bit of an explanation if you weren't here for the beginning. If I make this a repo mod, I can't use official names like R4360 or Wasp or Pratt and Whitney, but if I put it on the forums, it won't be as easily accessible because you won't be able to just go to the in-game mod repository searcher. It won't get as many eyes on it. But yeah, that's the trade-off there. Wondering what you guys are thinking. Alright. Looks like it's going towards the repo at the moment. If not tomorrow, reread last message. Oh, okay. Whilst Wasp Major not today, Wasp Major equals tomorrow. Release it via carrier pigeon? Sounds about right. I should do that, totally. We were having a look at the powertrain. I was thinking about making a clutch that's also a gear selector. I wonder if I can put this here. Oh, the engine is not connected now to the clutch. Okay, so we have gear ratios in here. I just don't know how to get it applied. Documentation. I don't imagine people would be that bothered about it having a proper name branding when it's niche stuff like aircraft engines. Here's the thing. If somebody wants this niche, they're going to have to search for it on Google, and they're not going to get the result that they want. Range box. Range box and disconnectable. Okay. Now that I know, range box. Okay, nothing here, because it's just a shaft. Then I'm gonna have a look at a more simple range box, which there should be one on the P cup. PQRS. Oh dear. Come on, it's like midday. Why am I... Anyway. Range box. This is in the transfer case. Okay. Is there just a range box that is not a four-wheel drive thing? Oh. Anyway, let's keep going. Transfer case, four-wheel drive still. Four-wheel drive off-road. Oh, we've looked around. Okay. Just a regular one. Then let's go controller. Drive modes. Transfer case control. Okay, let's grab... Actually, you know what? Do we have that in here? We do. It's called splitter control. Transfer case control. Is name the lower file name? That's the wrong thing. Split shaft? What is a split shaft? Don't know. Anyway. Is there gearboxes in here? Range boxes in here? Device name is range box high. What I'm trying to do is find out how it knows which Lua files to grab from. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's how controller works. My bad. Then I want drive modes, I think. Which one does range mode? Transfer case control. Transfer case control. Okay. I wonder if I can have more than one transfer case. Let's give it a try. Four-wheel drive. Where's that? There should be. Here we go. So, yeah, no, that's not what we want. Relevant device transfer case. Let's search for range box quickly. What are we looking for? Okay. Four-wheel drive has range box in it. What else has it? Dynamic vehicle data. Nope, that does not help me. Range box lure. Oh. Vehicle powertrain range box. Interesting. What the hell is this? Welcome, What is that name? Welcome, you. I might be biased, but if I want to find mods, the first thing I do is search the repo for generic term radial engine. Okay. It seems like it's a 50-50 though on the voting poll, so I feel that you guys are as split as I am. So this is range box. Let's go to four-wheel drive. And search it for range box. Controller, get controller, M name, set range mode, high, low. Okay. I think... What happened? Oh, weird. We can have more than one range box. Controller, compression brake. Okay, that didn't work. Where? What am I looking at? Oh, I was looking at pickup. Okay, my bad. Drive modes, splitter control. A, B, C, drive modes. No range box. Split? No? So splitter has splitter. Radial, high range, vehicle, high-low. Okay. It looks like they're creating their own. We might do the same. So, drive mode. We're not going to call it splitter control. We're going to call it our own. It's going to be int gear control. I don't know if it's meant to be one L or two L's. Fucking English sucks. Splitter name. Oh, splitter control. We'll grab you. Plop you here. UI name. Int gears. Quick access title. Internal. Quick access title. Quick access icon, radial, high, no, low. We don't want that. We want just range box. Quick access icon. Do we have a reference to that in here? Oh, we do. Setting icon or quick access icon. Okay, we will then want range box. Radial high range box. Okay, you know, that is correct. Quick access level. Vehicle features. I don't know what that means. Sure. High, low. Name. Modes, low. I think this nomenclature doesn't matter if it conflicts. Order 10? I don't know. Sure. Two. 3? I don't know. Powertrain, device mode, range box. Device name is range box. Oh, is that trying to... Okay, telling us which Lua file to use, maybe. Maybe that's where it's calling the Lua. Is range box all lowercase? Range box has an uppercase B, so this is something else. Wrong area. It's under powertrain where it's called range box. Okay. Let's do something stupid now and put main engine in there. So that's for the device name. Mode, high and low. Value 1 and -1. Splitter state. Oh, no. Yeah, of course not. Oh, electric's name. Okay, so we're trying to get out an electric's value. Let's go int gears. State. That's what the value is. That's just a readout. Okay. Button ID. Splitter, maybe. Powertrain range. That's what I was more expecting. Quick access icon. Setting icon or quick access icon. So this leads to what I'm guessing is an image, but then there's another one for an image. All right, let's keep moving on. Name overdrive. Ah, okay. This one will be... Where's the gears? Is that gearing it up? I think it is. A smaller number? I think... increases it? Yeah, it does. Can you have some context? Rewind? A semi with a Pratt and Whitney R4360 Wasp Major. Yeah. It's, I believe, the most amount of cylinders on a engine, or at least that was designed to be that way. As opposed to somebody just sticking a bunch of engines together for the shits and giggles of it. This is actually a proper purpose-used engine. Next, after that, powertrain. I think we're good on that. We might have to go and make a shaft instead. But then, you know, let's have a look at clutch. That's not what I wanted to do. Clutch. A, B, C, D. Clutch. Friction clutch. Okay. Engine. Function. Validate. Devices. If not device parent, get device categories. Engine. Then. Parent device is not an engine. Woo! Love that. Okay. Let's go manual transmitted. Where's the manual transmission? There it is. And then go a similar thing. Validate. If parent device and not... Sorry, if device.parent, so asking if the parent exists, and not device parent... Device category is clutch, and not device parent is fake. Okay. Yeah, we would have to create a custom thing for that. But we're just trying to see if we can hijack in the middle. And range box the engine. I doubt it. Let's try it. It's probably going to chuck an error. It did not chuck an error. We don't have an extra thing, though. Main engine is not attaching to the clutch. But is attaching to the clutch. Hold on, I have a question. Now, the engine does attach. Okay. Alright, what we need is another range selector. Powertrain, range box low, UI name splitter. Where is it conjoining? Toggle chat uses up. Okay, now that's multiplayer stuff. Multiplayer stuff. Cycle is already active. Skip this update of stream. Sure. I'm gonna clear this out and do a quick little refresh. Oh wait. I wonder if that is related to what we're doing. I'll disable that for now. You also don't need moo turbos. And clear this out. Okay, so then, what's the last thing? It's this. Do we get the same error without that? We do get the stream update thing. So what is this,